So firstly, what's your name, and could you spell it out for us?
My name's Scott Sherouse, Sherouse. That's Dr. Scott, proud graduate of FIU.
Great. So, as a teacher here, you previously taught at MDC. What are your thoughts on Miami-Dade College using their downtown campus to host this event yearly?
Well, Miami-Dade's fulfilled a very important role in Miami education-wise, historically. You know, it started out Miami-Dade strictly two-year college. FIU was a strictly two-year college in the beginning. You know, so FIU would be the juniors and seniors, one complemented the other, and then they both expanded greatly from there. My mother was a history professor at Miami-Dade when I was at Palmetto High School, and I grew up on the waterfront, always around boats, fell into smuggling as a young guy, but really was supposed to be one and done. And it worked out. It was very profitable, very easy. Got behind on my mortgage. Then it was like maybe two and done, but it just kind of snowballed from there.
So now that that story, you know, you've had to go ahead and build up your, not empire, I wouldn't say that, but go ahead and build up your portfolio, try and get out of your situation. Now that you have a book to tell, what do you think of MDC giving you the opportunity to share your story of Miami and it's like grit?
Right. No, this is a great venue, and you know, I guess we all, you know, you and I, pretty new to the whole book fair thing. Although when I was a professor here, I did volunteer and help out. But I think, as far as the U.S. goes, it's a pretty sizable book fair. You see, it's a great crowd, and yeah, I'm kind of learning and curious also. The vendors on either side have a great story. The young man here came from the Bahamas, so he's determined to succeed. Young lady here is the fantasy type reading, which hugely popular. So yeah, again, Miami-Dade's fulfilling a niche for the community.
Okay, here's a good one. Like I was talking about, Miami Vice, very popular, very extreme. So people who prefer to stay in and watch movies, do you think books provide a good alternative to like the action or finding entertainment?
Well, as a lifelong fanatical reader, you'd be hard pressed to find a movie that's better than the book. Although it does exist right here. But we talked about Miami Vice. It's funny, the opening of Miami Vice, there's a bunch of speedboats coming across the bay. They rented those boats from our group of smugglers. So the things that you see in Miami Vice, Pulp Fiction, Scarface, we were doing it. Late 70s, all through the 80s, through the 90s. I made a lot of money, I retired, and then all it takes is two people to say, you did it. I went to prison, I got out of prison, went back to FIU, and it was instrumental. Got 5 degrees / certificates from FIU, but I got a history degree, master's in history, PhD in comparative sociology. I got the first certificate in African New World Studies, graduate one. So I spent a lot of time there, loved it, taught at FIU a little bit while I was doing PhD work, and then came to Miami-Dade and taught sociology, anthropology, and world history here. Again, I think the two institutions complement each other, you know, and they have different I guess a role that they're trying to fulfill, but and at the same time complement each other because of that.
Synergy like that.
A good synergy. That's yeah.
Let's see if we can go ahead and fit one more. Okay, let's do this. So, tales from the 70s, 80s, right? Me, you know, I was born in 2006, all right? Do you think events like this can help reach out to younger readers, especially college-day students?
Yes, I think there's people that you can't live without books. Like even when I was at FIU, and in graduate school, and starting early in the morning and all day long with that, and then the library. On the way home, I would sometimes stop at the bookstore because for a different type of read. Or so I read cereal boxes, milk cartons. So there's been young people here. There was a girl a little while ago she's in high school with AP World History. She got it. There's history students here. You don't have to be but history students tend to be big writers. They're not really doing it to get wealthy. There's people that love to read. And there's different, it's funny, you could go through different genres. So we have werewolves and vampires, fantasy pirates. This is really a history book wrapped around the smuggling stories. When I covered the 1980 riots, why partly the cop that killed Arthur McDuffie that started the 80 riots, he became a private detective afterwards. Some Colombians were mad at me. They hired him to kidnap me, to deliver him to the Colombians. So it's like my friend that helped edit it says 100 years from now, it'll be the most important book ever written about Miami. It has pretty American Indians, has Bahamian history. There's Black Seminoles that they're runaway slaves from Georgia came into Florida. They, with some Seminoles, migrated. In the Seminole Wars in the 1830s, they migrated to Andros Island in the Bahamas. So there's a very intricate, rich history here, and this book touches on many, many of those topics.
That's perfect. That's great. I think that's good. Thank you for sharing that. Honestly, I didn't really notice that last part. That's great.